Jay Slater's best friend said he could hear the missing teen slipping on rocks during a final video call. The 19-year-old phoned his pal Brad, who he was on holiday with in Tenerife. After getting lost last Monday morning, Jay, Brad and friend Lucy jetted to the island earlier this month to enjoy the 3-day NRG festival. After going to a rave that finished in the early hours of June 17, apprentice bricklayer Jay headed to Masca with 2 British men he had met that night. He shared a final Snapchat from their Airbnb of a hand holding a cigarette at 7:30. Jay then tried to make his way back to his holiday accommodation, an 11-hour walk away, but at around 8:50 he made a desperate call to his friend Lucy saying he was lost in the middle of nowhere and had just 1% battery on his phone. Jay also said he had cut his leg on a cactus and needed water. It is unclear whether the call to Brad was separate to the one made to Lucy. Now Jay's friend Brad has opened up their last conversation, saying Jay wasn't initially concerned about walking back to their accommodation. He told Isla Trackware on ITV's This Morning he could hear Jay's feet slide on the rocks, signaling to him he'd gone off the road. Brad said, "That's how I knew he went off the road because you know when you walk on gravel or whatever it is, you know what I mean, stones." He admitted, however, he wasn't worried at that point as Jay reassured him he was fine, but he did tell his friend to put his location on. Brad added, "We were both laughing about it," he said. "Look where I am." He said Jay then cut off as he had another call waiting but promised to phone back. Both Brad and his mum Rachel Hargreaves have vowed to stay in Tenerife for as long as it takes to support Jay's distraught family. Cops on the island are now planning a large-scale search for Jay tomorrow, and have pleaded for volunteers to take part despite rejecting help from British police authorities on the island last week, insisted they had the resources they needed for the hunt. Officials say the huge sweeping search will take place tomorrow in Masca from Ninian. Police confirm they are not looking for general unexperienced members of the public to join the search. Instead, they are requesting the help of those who are experts in dealing with rocky terrain, as well as professional volunteers such as firefighters. Their cry for help comes despite them turning down help from their British counterparts as they insisted they had all the resources required. Police in Tenerife said today, the Guardia Civil prepares and coordinates a large search to find the young British man missing in the village of Masca. The collaboration of all those volunteer associations is requested, civil protection, firefighters, etc., and even private volunteers who are experts in the abrupt search terrain. The massive search will be carried out on Saturday, 29 June, from Ninian. Jay's distraught mum Debbie Duncan last week slammed police on the island for not letting cops from Lancashire Police fly out to help search for her son. She said, "I know the Spanish police mean well, but the problem we are having is the language barrier. We just don't seem to be getting told. I'm sure they are doing their best. They told me they had used dogs and drones, and then they said Lancashire Police had offered their resources but they turned it down, but I think that would have really helped. I would feel happier if our people were over helping. It's just so difficult not knowing where he is. The area and the terrain is rough, but the police were saying that now there are too many people up there and it could interfere with their investigation." On Tuesday, cops on the island were forced to draft in reinforcements with specialist sniffer dog teams. Rescue crews have been focusing much of their search on a 2,000-foot ravine in the desolate rural Destino Park. They have now shifted their focus to caves near Las Carrizales, around an hour and a half on foot from the Airbnb Jay went to with 2 men. Las Carrizales is a small hamlet not far from Masca in the Tino Mountains, but police sources have warned that it is very unlikely Jay has survived if he got lost in the mountains. Yet authorities have said there are no plans to put a stop to the search yet, despite no signs of Jay.